Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I hope y'all are doing well, and welcome to episode 8. Is it already episode 8? Man, time's flying. Where we're going to build on episode 7 last week for disrupting your distractions. But first, we got to start with the story. Why? Stories just put you in that emotional state. Whether you want somebody to receive information or buy something from you, stories are always a great way to start. So let's jump in our time machine, travel back to 1995. What was happening in 1995? Well, lots of things, but there definitely weren't cell phones yet. I mean, there were, but they weren't like what we have today. So let's just pretend it's 25 years ago. Most people still don't have cell phones, and you are on the project team of your dreams. I mean, this is what you went to school for. You landed your dream job finally. You love all your coworkers you're working with. You guys have been planning out this project for weeks, and y'all are just ready to get this thing going and stake a name for yourselves and create your legacy for your children and for all perpetuity. That was a little overboard. So then your manager walks in and he says, "Hey guys, we're going to do an experiment. I want half of you to take these black, shiny, beepy, buzzy, maybe sometimes multicolored toys, and it's going to beep at you every 5 to 15 minutes. And every time it beeps at you, you have to open it up, you have to go into it, and you have to do whatever it says for you to do." And you're like, okay, that's weird. So half the team takes it, and let's just imagine you're one of the person that doesn't get it. And you make it about 30 minutes into the workday, and half the team's already experienced 15 different distractions. Y'all haven't gotten anything done that y'all planned on doing, and you're just sitting there. You and the other people that didn't get the toys are saying, "This is insane. Why are they doing this to us? Do they not see how much this is costing us? Blah, 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 blah." So where am I going with this? What would have been called insanity 26 years ago is called multitasking today, and it is very cool to be a good multitasker. Well, let me ask you a question. When you implemented your 50-minute chunks last week, what'd you do? Did you spend that 50 minutes maybe working on a project for a couple minutes and checking an email, working on a project, and then maybe checking something else? If you did that, do you feel like you made any progress? My answer is going to be no, because that's what I used to do until a couple of weeks ago. When I started reading up about the stuff that I'm teaching and started implementing it in my own life. What we need to emphasize today is that there is a massive difference between multitasking and unitasking, not just on like productivity and performance, but on like how your brain operates and overall well-being. So I'm going to go into some stats real quick to back all this up. Microsoft did a study a few years back on their employees, and basically after an employee checks emails, it takes them 15 minutes to regain their full train of thought after checking an email. So think about it, 15, 30, 45, that's basically a third of your 50-minute chunk is spent just getting your brain back in gear to focus on the task at hand. So to follow that statement, University of Minnesota developed this idea of attention residue. Basically what happens is when your brain switches, you're on task A, which may be your work, and then you go to task B, which could be your email, and then back to task A, you actually, there's like a bit of your attention that's left on task B, and your brain has to burn more of the same fuel that's used to focus your attention to shift it all the way back. So instead of just burning fuel to accomplish this one task, you actually have to burn fuel, the exact same fuel, to change directions, and it's very detrimental to your health. Like, imagine you get in a car and you're on a 4-lane highway, but instead of driving straight like most people, you decide to drive in a zigzag across all 4 lanes. Well, you're still going to get there, but it's going to take a lot longer because, it's going to burn a lot more fuel because also, and it's going to be a lot more dangerous because you got to like dodge incoming traffic. Well, I mean, it's pretty much the same thing in your brain. Like, it's okay today for some reason to drive in zigzags along the highway, which is multitasking. It just doesn't work. The science doesn't back it up. So now I'm about to debunk another big misconception. My girlfriend's going to hate me for this. She's really proud of this fact about herself, that women are actually not better multitaskers than men. So where am I getting this data from? There's a Michigan State University study done that said women multitask 10 hours per week more than men on average. And then, now these two studies aren't connected or anything, but it is, maybe an interesting correlation to draw. The Anxiety and Depression Association of America, the ADAA, reports that women are twice as likely to suffer from anxiety in their lifetime. So again, I'm not saying anything, but there could be a correlation between anxiety and focusing on multiple things at once. I know for me, when I started implementing these like unitasking practices for myself over the past couple weeks, it's really helped me feel like I've gotten much more control over my life. And I've even gone to the extent of setting up like an automated response during work hours saying, hey, I'm going to check my phone again at 8 p.m. If it's urgent, just call me a few times. And like some of my friends literally, they're like, are you pranking me? Like, is this for real? And I hate to say it, but it kind of proves my point. Like, yeah, distractions are costing you money and they're keeping you from living the life of your dreams. Yeah, you'll have to sacrifice some, like the trivial mini, as I like to say, all these different notifications, what's going on social media. But what do you gain instead? You gain your whole life. You gain your future. You gain the ability to reach your goals. So don't be a slave to your tech and multitask all these different things. Be an obsessive unitasker. Even if you don't finish the task you're working on in your 50-minute chunk, go back to it. Even if it takes you more than one day. Like, just finish one task at a time, move on to the other, and then come back as things develop and you have to do more stuff. And I get it. Like, not every job can do this. Maybe you work in sales and you have to be by the phone and you have to be ready to pick that phone up at a moment's notice, whether somebody's calling you or you're dialing out, going down your list of cold calls for the day. Okay, fine. But instead of checking Facebook or emails in between your phone calls or playing a game on your cell phone, do something else that's productive. Maybe like listen to the recording of the call you were just on and analyze yourself and coach yourself into how you're going to be able to close the next one with an even higher percentage. So I know that went a little long, but I really wanted to get into that today. So become an obsessive unitasker. It's good for your brain. It's going to be good for your life. It's going to be good for your family and everything else that's important to you. All right. Sorry for going a little longer, but super important lesson. Talk to y'all soon. Take it easy.